Hey, it's Steve here. It's November 6th, 2020. Yeah, we're in the midst of our elections, and we voted. The final votes were a couple days ago, but there's been trouble counting all the votes, so we're not sure who's going to be the next president at this point because it's a close race. But at any rate, I'm not going to talk politics today. I'm going to talk about motivation and actually doing, having a positive mental attitude. So, you know, attitude, it's been said that attitude is more important than IQ. And I think what that means is that if the way you look at something, the way you go about it, the way you're perceiving things, and if it's in a positive mental attitude, it's just going to be so much better than the stuff you know. So the way you do things is more important than what you know. A lot of times in our society we put, going to college and learning all this information is so important, and there's so much value placed on that. But if it's not applied with the right attitude, I don't think it would make any difference, and it'd actually be a waste of time and money. And so the I believe that giving it your all, giving everything you have, get and not settling for second best. So few people really know what they want. How many of you out there have your goals written down? What you want to achieve in the next year, 5 years, 10 years. And if the answer is like I don't know what I want, I don't have anything. The problem with that is you're not going to achieve it, because it's kind of like, if you have an arrow and a bow and you don't have a target that you shoot at, you just kind of shoot at the air, or just kind of well, wherever that arrow lands is that's where I'm going to accept in my life. And that seems like that's a case with a lot of people. A lot of people just kind of pull that arrow back and let it loose and don't have any target they're shooting at. And when you do that, you're probably not going to end up in a place that you want, that you want. So what you need to do is go in and dream a little bit. Go back and you go back to when you were like 10, 11 years old. What did you have as a dream? You know what I mean? A lot of people are like, well, gosh, the only thing I cared about then was, dolls or toys or fishing or whatever. But I'm talking about, when people would ask you, what do you want to be what do you want to be when you grow up? And what did you say to yourself? What was your dream? Because it's the neat thing about the imagination is, and you probably lost this as you got older, is that anything was possible. I remember I was interviewing a 9-year-old one time, and I asked her, I said, well, if you could have anything you wanted, what would you have? And man, she went off and she'd go, I'd have 5 swimming pools. It's like, I'd have a house big enough to have 100 people in it. She imagined a mansion. How big would the land be? I'd asked her, and she said 100 acres. Like, and 5 pools, and she'd have so many toys she'd play, and she went on and on, just on and on and on. And it was like she had a dream. She had some dreams, some vision where, you get older and it's like, what do you want? Well, I'd like to have a 50 cent an hour raise. It's like, man, that's not going to get you up out of bed, in the morning. I mean, think big. I mean, what do you really want? I mean, and whatever it is, I mean, it can be a physical thing. Like maybe you want a car, settle for the cheapest car out there. Say I want a Ferrari, or I want that custom car that's worth $200,000. That's one of my goals. I have my eyes set on a car that's a custom, an old car that's been completely redone, and I'm hoping it's not going to be 200,000, but it's probably close to $100,000. It's a very nice car, but again, I'm not saying that and the only reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to I want you to be thinking about a something that you're shooting for. Create a target in your life. So I guess this talk is about targets. What is your target? What are you shooting for? What's your goals? What do you want? And if most people can't figure out what they want, they just don't know. They just don't know. But if you ask yourself the right questions, what makes you happy? What gives you juice? What makes you get up in the morning? And then obviously there's other stuff. It's like, and you really need to consider stuff. If all you want to do is just lay around and be lazy and do nothing, that's probably not. You need to really look on the inside and say, is this really where I want? Do I want to settle like that and just have a life where I'm just living for the weekends? A lot of people, I think the majority of people kind of live for the weekends, and their idea of the weekend is just to relax, or some kind of, do something big, think big, think of, if money wasn't an option, what would you do? Where would you go? What would you set out to accomplish? And mix this with a positive mental attitude. Whatever you're doing, I believe that whatever you do, a positive mental attitude is not going to make you into the best at something, but it will help you to get there. It's like, it's not a positive mental attitude isn't gonna mean that you can become a surgeon, a brain surgeon overnight. But I can tell you, if I'm going in for brain surgery, I really would like that doctor to have a positive mental attitude, that he's very confident about his abilities, and that his attitude is that you're going to this is going to be a success, versus one that's like, I know how to do brain surgery, but I'm not sure it's going to fix you. Which doctor would you rather have if you're having to go in and get brain surgery? So again, having a positive mental attitude with the target of what you want to accomplish, and if it's to be a doctor, write that stuff down. Write it down. I mean, the cool thing is imagine where you want to be. Do you want to be the number one brain surgeon on the planet? Well, then write that down, and then imagine that you're already there, and then go back and write down the steps it's going to take to get there. Because I'm that's not my goal to be a brain surgeon, but if it was, I would try to figure out, what do I have to do to accomplish that. Obviously, schooling has to be involved in that. It's gonna require a specialized skill, and to get there. So you don't have to let other people determine your outcome or your goals. You can do that, and you should, and you have the ability to do that. So this talk is more of helping you to figure out where you want to go with your life, and what you want to see. Who do you want to be? Who is that person that you want to be? Visualize that. Set a goal for it. For me, physically, I wasn't happy with myself about a year ago. I physically felt bad. I was weak. I was hurting all over. Everything was hurting. I enjoy doing the physical work that I do, and I knew that I wasn't happy with the shape I was in, and so I made a goal and decided that. I heard somebody talk about push-ups, and I thought, you know what? And I've heard there's some people out there that are doing 1,000 push-ups a day, and I thought to myself, if someone out there can do it, then I can do it, and that would get me a long ways toward being in better shape physically. So I did that, and I also want to strengthen my core, so I made it a goal to do 1,000 crunches every day. Leg lifts, crunches, things of that nature. But I found that wasn't a big enough goal. So the goal now is 2,000 crunches and 1,000 push-ups, which I'm doing. I've been since April, so it's been, well, since April till November. I've been doing 1,000 push-ups and 2,000 crunches every single day, and I'm in the habit of doing just a little. If you do a little more than what you're paid to do, life has a funny way of paying you back, and so I do a little bit more than I actually do a little bit more than 1,000 push-ups, and I do a little bit more than 2,000 crunches, and I just do a little bit more every day. And you might ask, well, how do you find time to do that? Because I'm busy. I work all the time, and stuff. And I just get up a little bit earlier. This morning I was up at 4:30, about 4:20 probably, and I did just. I go right to it. I take herbs. I get up, take my herbs, drink some water, and get right to it. I don't think. I ride a bike, and I have a rowing machine. I do that for about 15 minutes just to warm up, and then get right on the push-ups. Don't I almost don't let myself talk. I don't talk. Let myself talk myself out of it. It's like feels like there's two or three people living inside of me. That one that's always saying no, oh, you can't do this. It's too hard. And this one that complains all the time. And then there's the other one that says, you set this goal. I had it written down. You set this goal, need to do it. And so for me, it's every day. I kind of feel like I brush my teeth, every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. So I work out every day, and it's just part of what I do. So, and it's by just setting a goal for it. And I feel pretty good. I figure by the I started this whole thing about push-ups and sit-ups and doing it every single day on the 26th of December. So I'm pretty close, to getting a year in. So when I get a year in, I'll do a video, how I feel and the benefits from doing that. And it's more than just the physical benefits. And I've seen my finances change. I mean, everything in my life is changing because of making this one commitment. So, you start with something small like that. And it doesn't have to be 1,000 push-ups. I can do 50 push-ups. I mean, I admire anyone that does 50 push-ups and they do it every single day and they don't miss a day. I just happened to set a kind of a bigger goal that I wasn't sure I could take, and it kind of scared me, but I'm doing it. And if I can do it, I'm no smarter than anybody else. I have no college education. I'm running a lot of people say is a successful business, totally 100% debt free. I own, I don't know, 20 cars, 20 vehicles. They're all paid for 100%. I mean, I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this to inspire you that if I can do this, you can do it. Because I know I'm not any smarter. There's no way I could get through college. I just couldn't do it. I barely made it through high school. I mean, it took everything I had. I had to do homework till 2 and 3 in the morning every day just to make it through high school. And I know some of you out there are so smart that you can hear something and just get it quickly. And I'm just not that way. So if I can do this, you can do it too. So that's my message. And don't give up. Don't give up. Don't quit. No matter what, no matter how hard it gets, hang on. It's darkest right before the dawn. Right before the sun comes up is when it's the darkest, when things seem the worst. And if you're in a really bad spot and everything's going bad for you, just hang on a little bit longer. It will get better. Don't give up. Don't quit. That's if there's one thing that separates me from anyone else out there, it's that I got a hold of this, that I didn't quit. I just hanged on a little bit longer. The dawn will come. It'll get better. And I've been through some hard times, and it has gotten better. And it's pretty cool today. But anyway, I'm pretty happy, and I hope that you get something out of this, and you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.